Greetings to all and sundry, Chancer North Wales here. This is another Chancer's View video where I'm going to be discussing what I've been doing, acknowledgements, shout-outs and other chat about modelling and what's been going on, plus a few other things around the edges. So we'll begin by firstly big thank yous to everybody for all your comments, feedback, views of my MiG-25 and my Su-27 builds. As always, greatly appreciated, guys. Two builds I enjoyed and two aircraft I'm really glad to now have in the collection because of where they stand in the scheme of the history of Russian aviation. So no, I just enjoyed them. It was nice to get my first ever experience of photo etch. Unlike you armor modelers, I certainly don't run into this very often. And as a little change, having done the Su-27, I'm now doing something that sits right at the other end of the historical scale in Russian aviation, and this is this little Yak-15 by PM Models. So going from the present day to the first Russian jet to see operational use. That will be followed in terms of aircraft builds by this Yak-23. And guys, it's worthwhile, if you want to see a beautiful build of this, check out Making Models Again, Gary's tackling of this kit. I think it was slightly different boxing. This is a KP one, but his one was under a different label, but it's exactly the same kit. A real ancient one, but precisely the kit I personally like. After the Yak-17, I will be, and this is for Roadhog 0822's Cancer Awareness Group build. I've got this little thing set aside. I haven't built a car for a while, so I'm going to be doing this mini that I picked up Christmas time last year at, ironically, I think it was TK Maxx. Had a little, you can sometimes have a bit of a nose round there, and that was knocking about on the shelves for a fiver. So I'll pick that up, and I'll be doing that for the Cancer Awareness Group build. I haven't forgotten about my First World War build, and I do have a nice set of figures for that, Revell set with British, German and French figures, and I'll be doing one of those quartets for before the end of the year for my First World War, the 1915 build. So just that's certainly far from forgotten, and a nice set of 1/35 scale figures which will make a pleasant change. So that's really what's been going on that front. Now on to Telford 2015. Well, 1 week to go now for the IPMS Scale Model World at Telford. I'll be there on the Saturday. Don't know if I'm trundling down with anybody in particular, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to be plenty of you guys there. So if anybody wants to meet up, I will make sure I'm near the Airfix stand in Hall 2 at around 12 o'clock midday. For all of you non-IPMS members, please check out the website. You've got the floor plans there. Speaking to people, I find some guys tend to miss the competition area, which I always think is, for me, one of the highlights of the show. Especially seeing what wins the nationals. But this year they've put it in an upstairs gallery, so keep your eyes aware for the signs for this. Check out the maps on the Scale Model World 2015 website to give yourselves a brief up. Don't miss the competition area, I would say. I just love seeing what's there anyway. So what am I looking for there? I think top of my wish list is the new A model Antonov AN-27, a small transport aircraft in Aeroflot markings. so I'll be keeping my eyes out for that. I'm hoping, because it's a new release, that Hannon's will be stocking that. And the other aircraft that's high on my list is an Mill Mi-4 Hound. Simply, I haven't got one, and whichever markings, I don't mind. I just would like a helicopter because it'll sit between my Mi-2 and my Mi-7. So again, it has its place within the historical run. And if I can find one, and Mi-1 Hare will be a nice find as well. But it's one of those incredibly rare helicopter kits that people like A Model have done, but really not too many other people. So that's really what I'm looking for, and the usual thing of checking out what's it by paints and the odd other kit that might catch my fancy. I'm not a big spender of the event. I can't afford to be honest with you. But you know, I've got enough, more than enough in my stash, and so when I'm looking for stuff, it's to fill specific gaps within the range of the work I do. That isn't to say I don't treat myself to other things, and I did recently from Chester Model Centre pick up the new Supermarine Swift kit, which is a beautiful kit. I think one I may do an unboxing video on, but don't hold me to that. Something else I have got in mind, and what I may ask my wife to get me from Chester Model Centre, is the new Shackleton kit. Basically because I love also aircraft with a naval connection. Short of building a flying boat, well, what could be better than building the new Shackleton? Unfortunately, the lack of figures for the cockpit means it's very definitely going to have to be one that sits on its wheels. If I can source some figures, it might make a nice ceiling hanger to sit within sight of the Chinois PS1 that's up there above me. But we'll see. It's definitely a kit I am going to get, but when I get around to building it will be another matter, like most of us. So that's really the ramble about the modelling side. Few shout outs, mentions, that kind of thing about I've been following the vids, guys. It's nice to see Chris and Alex modelling are back, that they've gone from returned from the fields and are now back at the workbench as our as autumn closes in and the leaves are busy falling, and all the rest of it. So few builds that have caught my eye. As I say, it's always lovely to see some nicely done Russian stuff, and Jamie wrote with your MiG-21, you did a lovely job on the metallic finish on that, and I just want to say that did catch my eye. I like the early marks of the MiG-21 as well, and I think you made a lovely job of that one. Michael Hamilcar Barkas's Führer Schutz diorama. Again, beautiful work, Michael. You've really shown yourself as one of the masters of dioramas, with something that's wonderfully executed, wonderfully thematic, and just very well compiled and presented. I like beautiful work there. Now, for me, I think one of the best examples I've seen recently of a clean, beautifully executed metallic finish was Frankie Day's C-54 Skymaster. Guys, just check his video. I mean, Frankie is one of the in my mind, one of the master modelers on here, and his work on that, and particularly the finish, particularly his paint job. It's the new F Revell C-54 kit, a kit that does tempt me, but just one I am not going to get because it's, you know, doesn't have Randalls, doesn't have red stars. Well, it's too much of a luxury kit within the scope of my building, but Frankie has done a beautiful job on it, and he does one of his great discussion vids as well, so please look up Frankie Day's build of that. Bill Panzerman Bunker, I love the work he did on the classic Airfix Bofors gun kit, and the way he presented that as well, and his vids always continue to be some of the most entertaining and comfortable to watch out there, something that's very much appreciated with his presentation style, his manner, and that humour belies an absolutely brilliant modeler. So I always find his work particularly interesting. So guys, so much out there, so many wonderful vids, great work being shown, and also good to see Deer and Shank back amongst us. Well, as I say, I'm not never really sit amongst the auto modeler side. I do enjoy and do find, particularly in terms of the finish and the approaches, some of the US auto modelers' work is nice to see. Um, so other things are going on well. I would say, guys, to those of you who are now, as we're running into our festive season, is beginning to roll. People are booking their Christmas parties, and tonight there's going to be an awful lot of people on the streets of Wrexham on the Halloween do. Just saying this, when you're out with your mates, please keep an eye out on your mates. Look after one another out there. Don't let your friends wind up sat on their Todd, sat on their own, needing the assistance of street passers like myself or the police or ambulance service. Please, guys, just look after one another out there over this festive season. And if you're out with a group of mates, make sure you know where your friends are and what's happening to them. That helps everybody. And recently I've been blessed by seeing some excellent examples of people standing by their friends when they've been in a bad way and helping out and making a real difference. And that really lifts a person's heart when we see that caring out there as well amongst people on a night out. So have a good time at this festive season. Keep an eye on what you're drinking and look after yourself. So that was my little mention on that side of things. And to all of you out there, guys, take care. God bless and happy modelling.